Beautiful. Here we go. Well, hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I am your host, John Harris. Usually on my right-hand side is my right-hand man, and actually, interestingly enough, KLEE, today we're chatting with, was like, where's Gabriel? Well, he's in school, everybody. So today we've got the KLEE Project, and they've got a new album called Screaming Out Loud, which is being released on February 12th of 2021 via This Is Core Records. Right now I'm being joined by Roberto, Jessie, and Luca to share some more information about what this project has got going on. A little bit of heaven, I think. So, guys, welcome to the show.
All right.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Great to have you guys on. As soon as I heard it, I thought, this is cool stuff. It's just that, I almost want to call it arena rock. You know, that just hard rock, pound your fist, sound.
Sure.
That...
Come il sound del rock.
Yeah.
Sì, qualcosa riguardo come è iniziato.
Beh, il KLEE Project nasce nel 2016, il progetto nasce nel 2011 e il primo album è nel 2016.
Okay, so the KLEE Project started like in 2011, and but il primo album. The first album came out in 2016.
Yeah, The Long Way.
The Long Way is the name of the album.
L'idea era quella di racchiudere tutto il mondo musicale rock e creare qualcosa di personale. Proprio nel primo album è questo.
So the project was to like combine all the influence he had on the rocks in his life and rock and roll, and he did this combination and created the first album just to show what he would get influenced before with this with the rock music.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. I think that definitely shows. So talk to us about this album, Screaming Out Loud. What was the intention for this album? Was there a particular goal? And then we can get into lyrically, is there a theme to the album?
C'è un tema principale su questo album.
Sì, abbiamo qui Jessie che è l'autrice dei testi, quindi saprà specificare meglio il discorso, ma ci tengo a precisare che questo album nasce nel periodo del lockdown, è molto particolare, quindi secondo me è molto legato a quel periodo, è anche un segno di speranza per il futuro.
So this album was like created in the period of the lockdown we had for the coronavirus here in Italy. So it was like this creative, like sharing of creativity that in few days he wrote like in few days the songs really fast. So he just wrote this music and songs and then she wrote the lyrics, and that's the story. That this was the creativity came out after the lockdown, during the lockdown, closed in the house. So this was the reason of creating this album.
Lockdown, baby.
Yeah, to share some positivity, to share something, some hope.
I think too, in with all the titles, the way that Roberto approached me was with first of all, the tracks were so amazing. They were just so exciting and dynamic and melodic and powerful. And everybody in the band is like a superstar. It's a super group. Anyway, they gave me the titles. Roberto gave me the titles, and the titles were inspiring, and the melodies were inspiring. And although there's a lot of the subjects can be dark, there's still strength in this darkness, which is kind of parallel to the pandemic. Even though it's dark, there's always positive on the other side. You've got to, as human beings on Earth, you got to turn the negative into a positive, and you go through the fire to get there, but you get there. Yeah. So this title of the album, in my opinion, Screaming Out Loud, is like, ah!
And
the passion, to just get it out there. Obviously, as musicians, we cannot wait to get back up on stage and do our thing. Not only do we need it, but we believe that the audience is craving, and there's going to be a newfound respect for live music and musicians.
Absolutely. So then all of the titles, they were like working titles and they came to you, Jessie, and then you built lyrics around that, or did some of the titles then change?
Well, maybe one changed because it was already taken, but Roberto took care of all that. He handled all the titles. He gave me the titles.
Okay. Cool.
I
guess when it comes to these two tracks, Heaven and Back On in Love Again, where do those surface around in terms of the pandemic?
Sorry?
Could you repeat the question to Luca?
Yeah, absolutely. With regard to these two singles that came out, Heaven and Back On in Love Again, since a lot of the concepts have to do with the pandemic, I'm just curious how these tracks tie into the pandemic and the lockdown.
Come è collegato alla cosa della pandemia di questi due brani, se c'è qualche collegamento?
A livello musicale no.
Musicale, di pensiero?
No, questi brani sono nati praticamente in termini di tutto l'album è nato in 4 giorni.
Okay. So it was really
molto veloce è stato.
Yeah, it was really fast.
Reazione forte al momento.
Really fast reaction, like he created the song in 4 days, so the album is made in 4 days. Because I guess Roberto was in the house freaking out, like, okay, I have to play some music because I will freak out.
In my little room in the house.
Right. Yeah, he created.
No, here.
Yeah, he has the recording studio, but he has also the little room like in the house. So he was closing the house, and the kids knocking the door, like, Dad. But he created the songs in 4 days. So the influence of the COVID was just, I think, this thing of being closed in the house that you scream it loud, and it came out because of this, I think. Cioè ti è venuta questa cosa perché appunto eri in
Esatto, una grande reazione al momento, una forte reazione al momento, una great reaction.
Just natural reaction. So in 4 days he just created this music, and then they all together they just wrote and created the final version of the songs.
Okay, and then if I remember correctly, Jessie, you wouldn't have been in a lockdown situation yet.
We were in lockdown the beginning of March.
Non era chiusa in lockdown perché era un'altra cosa.
So, yeah, and Roberto approached me, I think it was towards the end of February, not sure when exactly the timing was, but it was around that time. And actually it was before the lockdown, you're right, because I was in Nashville. I went down to Nashville. Ci pensi, Roberto, that I went down to Nashville. I was saying I had to go to Nashville, and then I would work on the songs for Heaven, the lyrics for Heaven. So,
yeah.
Right before, like a week before the lockdown. So it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, and then you got all the free time that you needed then to work on lyrics.
Yeah.
Safety, working for
So, kind of interesting question, because you had mentioned that because of the lockdown, this inspiration came. So it's kind of an odd question, but would an album have happened anyway, or is it because of the lockdown this album happened? Like, was it already on the docket for that year, 2020, to write an album?
Avevi pianificato di lavorare un album nuovo?
I don't know. Non so se avrei scritto l'album.
So he's not sure because he's working on other things. So he didn't plan to work on the new year and this year about a new album. Mm-hmm. But this situation created the chance to.
È stata fondamentale.
So he was kind of lucky to have this kind of situation. Let's see positive way of.
Exactly. Yeah.
Vediamo il lato positivo di questa coronavirus che ha creato.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, taking a bad situation and trying to figure out how to capitalize on it.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Now, one of the questions that I wanted to ask was that, Roberto, I have here that you did the mixing on the record.
No, il missaggio è stato fatto da Frank Altare.
Okay. So the mixing was made from another person, Frank Altare.
Yeah. E il mastering da Riccardo Parenti.
The mastering from Riccardo Parenti.
Hey, Riccardo!
No,
you know.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I'll scratch that question. Then I was going to ask you questions about the mix, since you were the mix engineer, but you were not the mix engineer.
No, okay. But usually he always do. But when he wants to work on his album, you have your influence, so he wants to have also influence from others outside. So he knows these professional people and they do the mixing. Io ho detto che tu di solito fai il mixaggio, tutto quanto. He always do. But
per il KLEE Project,
for the KLEE Project, he has a team. Like
4 orecchie è meglio di 2.
Yeah, 4 ears is better than 2.
Very, very true.
But he everything. Roberto create a song from the beginning, then the mixing, then the master, then the composition. So but for the album, he preferred to work with the team. Everybody has a role. Everybody do the best job they do. Mm-hmm. They know.
Yeah, makes sense. I can see that going on right now. There's a team vibe right now.
Oh yeah, c'è un team vibe adesso, c'è un'area di team.
Sì, vero.
Yeah, perfect.
That's joy. That's the joy of working on music. It's one thing to work on music alone, but when you collaborate, that's where the magic really, the chemistry and the excitement and the adrenaline. It's wonderful.
Quando lavori con altre persone, più che lavorare da solo.
Jessie è stata incredibile.
Jessie was incredible working on this project.
Thank you.
Sentivo la sua energia a distanza di miglia.
You felt the energy also from far away. So.
Me too. Really, it was from the beginning to the end, non-stop energy.
Good. Very cool. And that definitely comes through, I think, on the record.
Questa energia si sente dalle canzoni, attraverso le canzoni. Thank you.
Going into this year, because usually when you release an album, there's a traditional way of promoting that record, and I know some bands are acting in accordance with that and booking a tour already for this summer, which I don't know how you feel about that. But what, I guess, is the plan for 2021? How are you guys going about promoting the record in non-traditional ways?
Il tuo piano per promuovere questa musica in modo non tradizionale, perché per la situazione che c'è?
Ok, sì, certo. Chiaramente il discorso dei social, del network, e lavorare anche molto sul video, cercare di realizzare i video per promuovere il più possibile la musica.
So he decided to work more about the social network promotion, the digital promotion. So, and also about the digital product, so the music video. So now the only way is like this one. So we have the computer, we have the internet. So the only way to promote for now is this. Yeah. So he's watching only this way for the digital promotion.
Okay. Now something you mentioned there was the music video. So take us through that, because it's Back on In Love Again, which is the music video. When did you guys film this? Were you guys able to do? It's a bar, so you guys probably did this before lockdown. Well, no, is that possible? Because there was no music yet. So how did you guys do this?
Appena terminato il lockdown in Italia, appena abbiamo avuto la possibilità di girare il video con le precauzioni per il Covid, con il tampone.
Okay, because in Italy we had the period of from February, end of February, and until end of April, like giugno, quando era fino alla fine?
Sì, marzo.
Marzo finiva tutto.
Sì, marzo.
But because we had this the lockdown, then it stopped the lockdown, so we had free time for the summer. So in this period it was free, but also we all felt the air of the old lockdown, and we were close to the next lockdown. But it was the middle. We were in the middle. So they chose to film the video in Rome, and they did with the tampone with the test, the COVID test for the actors. So they organized with the COVID test to be safe, and they made the video in this free time, because after few weeks later they all again blocked all the Italy, so we are now still in lockdown. We are today still in lockdown.
Yeah.
Continuato, quindi c'è stato questo intermezzo.
Grazie.
Okay. Because it looks incredible. Music video looks great, and I definitely get a sense of the going back to the lyrics. I mean, we've got this romantic couple who, are they up to no good? What's going on with this romantic couple with their, is that pantyhose on their face? What are they doing?
They're a relationship in turmoil. And it's a very steamy video. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. You guys did a great job with the video. And especially filmed in Rome, the city of love. I just can't get my... Oh! It's steamy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, that's also an interesting concept, right? Because for Jessie, for you, Rome is like, wow. But for Roberto, it's like, eh.
Per Jessie, no?
Sì, per me è normale.
We are too much used to this, you know?
I know Roberto sometimes posts pictures of, because he's a bicyclist. He posts bicyclist, and he posts pictures of different areas, you know, the Trevi Fountain, the Colosseum, on his bike, and I'm just salivating, thinking, oh my God, this blows my mind. Crazy.
And have you been yourself, Jessie, to go visit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Cool.
We actually worked on a couple songs together in Rome before. And also I spent some time there hanging out. We lived there for about a month, so I spent a lot of time in Rome. So this is very special. This has a lot of, on different layers, has a lot of emotional meaning for me. And working with Roberto and the guys is just, you know, it's just been, I'll never forget it as long as I live.
Yeah. What about Rome struck you the most?
Oh, I just got goosebumps when you said that. It's beautiful. It's historic. You know, it's where the world started for the most part. You know, and it's just so gorgeous. And it's Italian, and the food, and the language, and the love, and the men, and the music. I mean, it's a million different. I just can't wait to go back. Every time Luke, I'm sorry, I'm speaking fast. Every time Luke speak together.
I collect and then I give to him.
Pick the bits out of it. Every time we speak, I say I just can't wait for us to actually come together and meet together again and celebrate so many things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So we've got a steamy music video. We've got Heaven. We're back on In Love again. We're screaming out loud. Fantastic. And as far as this year is concerned, do you think you guys are going to be working on another record, considering that there may be some more lockdown going on?
Oh boy. Oh my God.
Ci sto pensando.
Maybe. Let's see how hard will be the lockdown. More harder it is and more... Cioè, più ci sarà lockdown e più creerai.
È vero. No, adesso è il momento di spingere questo album, il terzo album del KLEE Project, che penso che sia un album fantastico che racchiuda il senso del primo e del secondo album.
So for now, he's not thinking about about another album or another record. He's just thinking to show and to make listen the new album, the last, which is the third, and which is like the evolution of the first and the second. So it's like the combination and evolution of the first two albums, and now he's the final song, like kind of the song of these two albums is the third album, this new one. So for now, he worked on this new album.
La direzione giusta, diciamo, per il KLEE Project.
Okay. Quick question. This is Core Records. Did they release the previous albums, or how did they get involved on this album? Did you shop around?
What, sorry?
This is Core Records. How did they get involved with the release? Were you guys shopping around, or have they been partnered with them for a while?
Shopping around, cioè
dice tipo la
vendita,
la promozione, sì, perché è stato distribuito
è solo online la fisica, anche si può ordinare online, è fisica, ma il prossimo album sarà fisico, ma è su Big Cartel.
Okay, so they made this collaboration with Big Cartel, distribution label. And they promote.
No, non è distribution label, è This is Core è la distribuzione, sì, diciamo, è digitale.
Okay.
This is Core digital and the physical album on Big Cartel, però bisogna comunque prenotarlo, no?
Okay, so they have This is score for the digital version of the album, and then they made for the physical album
on Big Cartel.
On Big Cartel, another
physical album. Sì.
Okay, now physical album, is that vinyl? Is that CD? What is the physical album?
CD.
CD. For now, let's see.
Because personally, I think this would sound great on vinyl.
Yeah, it would be.
Sure.
This is the first. The long way. This is the second. Living in confusion.
Where's the third?
The third, l'ultimo.
Ancora non c'è.
Ancora still producing. We have the lockdown, man. We have the lockdown.
Of course.
No.
All right. Well, and the other cool thing too is writing an album arguably about lockdown, but without saying it. I think it's good that you guys did that without thinking too much about how I want to phrase that. But musicians who've come out with tracks that are called Lockdown that are obviously about lockdown just kind of seem a little...
Tu hai scritto questo lockdown, ma non hai parlato del lockdown all'interno.
No, certo, è vero. Perché sicuramente l'argomento sarebbe risultato, secondo me, troppo pesante. Troppo...
So he said like the argument of the lockdown and talking about the lockdown, it is going to be too much heavy, you know, too much talking directly about this lockdown, directly about this situation. So he just wanted to talk about the positivity, about this kind of love and things that. But the lockdown worked like a batteria. Like a battery, so he just he took the inspiration from the lockdown, but he talked about other stuff, not about the lockdown.
Yeah.
Too much simple to talk now. Everybody talks about the lockdown. We have really enough of this lockdown. Di questo lockdown, quindi parlare anche del lockdown.
Sei bravo.
Well, and something I'd heard, and I don't know if it's just a joke or not, but something I'd heard is that the lockdown united Italians, and for the first time, nobody talked about politics or things like that. So from what I heard, it's a very positive thing for the unity of Italians.
Perché non hanno parlato molto della politica, adesso non si parla di politica. Sorry, the last thing I didn't understand.
Just something that I'd heard from Italians. I don't know if they were joking or not, but that the lockdown was the first time that Italians felt unified.
Yeah. Not true, ha detto che gli italiani sono politicamente uniti, cioè non sono più divisi da una cosa, perché
forse
yeah, because maybe it looks like because ha detto che qualcuno gli ha detto, but
sì.
Not really. We are really like, kind of bad situation, like as you do, guys. I guess we are all in kind of bad situation now. No, we are. But now we have to be more united and don't think about, the regular way of thinking about politics, right or left, and just find a solution for everybody without being this, going outside from politics and talking more about people and not politics. So now maybe in Italy now we are more united as people and not as politics and all this stuff. Che siamo più uniti da una cosa, un senso comune che più che dalla cosa politica.
Certo.
But they do. The politics they use now the moment for promote their ideas. They use this moment because this moment is really strange. So we are all like kind of fragile. So they also use this moment. So it's kind of situation. Cioè, loro stanno usando anche questo momento per promuovere le loro idee.
Right.
Beautiful. Well, speaking of using this moment, we've got this album that we just finished chatting about, Screaming Out Loud, chatted about the concept behind the album. We had the lyricist of the album on, which is great. Good to chat with you, Jessie. Chatted about potentially kind of 2021 for the most part. I mean, it's early on still. And is there anything that I missed that you guys wanted to chat about?
Che vorresti dire di questo album così che lui non ti ha detto?
Io devo ringraziare innanzitutto i ragazzi del gruppo, perché ci sono stati anche alcuni di loro che sono stati malati.
Okay.
Hanno avuto questo.
So he wanted to talk about the band, who made this, who worked with Roberto for the album, and some of them they also had COVID.
Oh,
Okay.
So a strange situation also to work.
E appena sono stati in grado, appena sono stati bene, hanno registrato l'album.
So when they came back better in better ways, they finished the COVID moment
La prima
period.
cosa che hanno fatto.
The first thing they did was to record from their home the guitar, the drums,
Perché
and
poi
the instruments.
diciamo che non sono tutti a Roma.
Yeah, so the album was made not all together in a studio, but they did everybody in their own place, Milan, Rome, and other cities.
Okay.
So it was a teamwork, but distance teamwork. And creating an album distance, I guess, is difficult. So creare un album così è difficile.
Yes.
But they are all professional, so they create, and they are all good friends, so they understand each other really well, as Jessie and Rob.
Well, I'm glad to hear that they recovered.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
We did this.
Sì, yeah.
Yeah, they are good. Fortunately, they are good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, gang, that concludes my questions. So unless there's anything else, I just wanted to thank you for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Ti ringrazio per essere venuti.
Celebrating this wonderful album. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was a huge pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, Roberto, Luca.
Grazie a te. Grazie.
And I want to say a few words about Roberto now. Like if I
Okay.
Roberto, like in Italy, they always try to like don't do English music, don't do rock music because it's hard to do. But Roberto always believed in this music, and he always tried as I grew up with Roberto because I was 16 when I came here, and I saw like how this man can evolve. Like he's doing evolution every year. He changed. He learned some things that we young people use on music and other stuff. So he always evolves. He doesn't do only rock and roll, but he does pop music, electronic music, dubstep, and other stuff. So I saw this huge evolution in Roberto. So I think like this album is a really great work, and it's difficult to find this kind of works in Italy right now.
Now I think the album should have had dubstep in it. That's what I think.
Dovresti mettere un po' di dubstep allora. Maybe.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I'm going to go ahead and hit stop.
Okay.
Thanks to you.